Real talk, the metaphor messiah, man. I got this one. Let's go. You ever seen the morning star? Mr. Metaphor Messiah, back to show you who we are. I represent a legacy, a pothead like the 70s, a different kind of mind. They say we only speak in melodies. Legend in the game, I think I found a solution.
Before we get started tonight, I want to send my best thoughts and wishes out to the one and only, the nature boy, Ric Flair. Honestly, it doesn't look like he's going to make it through the night, and I am having a hard time with that. But let's go ahead and start the show. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Dead on Dave. Welcome back to the channel. I know what you're thinking. Dave, you're doing wrestling. Yes, I'm doing wrestling. I still do. I know. Calm down. Pump the brakes. I still do it. Just don't do it a lot. I can't stay up anymore all night, but I will tell you what will get me back onto the horse like anything else. The Big Four. The Big Four, even when all the rest of the shit is just so ungodly terrible that you can't even bear to watch another second of it, SummerSlam will get you going. SummerSlam will get you hype. And it certainly has gotten my juices flowing. So much so that the entire week is going to be dedicated to the one and only SummerSlam pay-per-view. And I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to talk about everything that's going on in SummerSlam, both past and present. And I just want to let you guys know that if anything does break about Ric Flair throughout this show, I want to know immediately, because obviously we're going to switch to that. It's not a good situation. Real quick, for those of you who don't know, Ric Flair has been put into a medically induced coma to have heart surgery. It's not a good situation. I'm just waiting for the message at this point. It would shock me to see if he makes it through tonight. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to deal with it, because Ric Flair, as you guys know, it's Shawn Michaels and it's Ric Flair for me, and then everybody the fuck else. But we're going to try to soldier on and go through it the best that we can until we get any news about that, because that's what we're supposed to do. And we do got a hell of a topic for you tonight. SummerSlam. SummerSlam. You see, here's what you might not know about me. Even though that one time, long ago, I did a lot of top fives on this channel, and I did. You can go back and you can see all the top fives that I did. I hate top fives. I hate them. I hate them with a fiery vengeance. I hate them with a passion of fury. It makes me want to punch children. I hate them. They suck. They're subjective. Most of the time, somebody just throws in something to agitate people. They're good for views, but they're really not good for opinions. They change all the time. It's why people do them. It's the whole point. So I'm not a big fan of them. But I'll tell you what I am a big fan of. The top fives of the greatest, I'm not a fan of. But just my personal favorites. Favorites typically don't change. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. That's what we're going to start about tonight. SummerSlam. SummerSlam weekend. And a new addition into SummerSlam weekend. Let's start with NXT. Because this is an easy one to go through. Because NXT has a hell of an event itself this weekend, and not a lot of people are talking about it, and I find it unfortunate, because I think right now the best current roster that NXT has ever, what they're doing right now, it's the best NXT has ever been. It's the best NXT roster they've had. It's the best matches. Everything is fantastic. And they got a hell of an event. So the first thing I want to talk about is my favorite match in the history of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Now, yes, there's only been 2 of them. There's been some great matches. Shinsuke's headlined, Finn's headlined, Samoa Joe's headlined, Kevin Owens' is headlined. It's been great. But this is the easiest thing anyone will ever have to say of what their favorite match is from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. It's from number 1, Sasha and Bayley. Sasha and Bayley tore the house down that night, and I don't think anybody can even begin to think otherwise. That match was almost fucking perfect. It was great. It was captivating and emotional. It worked. And it wasn't even their first big headliner. They co-headlined that night, as a matter of fact. It's a great match. One of the best women's matches I've seen in the last 20 years, easily. Now, it's more interesting what has happened to them afterwards. More really Bayley than Sasha, but still, that match is something that gets you excited about all the time when you think about NXT. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on NXT because this is a SummerSlam show. So we talked about my favorite match from NXT Brooklyn's past. What about the future? What match am I most excited about going into Saturday? Well, pick a match. I mean, really, the card's stacked. It really is. It's a fantastic match. And unfortunately, Drew and Bobby Roode is not getting the attention that match really deserves. For me, it's because it's being overshadowed by another match. A match that has little to no build aside from the last couple of weeks. Aleister Black and Hideo Itami is going to absolutely tear the house down tonight. Going to tear it the fuck down. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see how violent that match is from a striking standpoint. Aleister Black and Cassius Ohno was incredible. And let me tell you, Itami and Aleister are going to be something sick. I cannot wait to see it. I'm very excited for that match. And that's what's gotten my juices flowing. As is all some of the news that's coming out right now. Of course, we're hearing about Adam Cole officially signing with WWE and going directly to NXT. There's a very good possibility we see him at Brooklyn in some way, form, or fashion. Are they going to do like McIntyre and just have him in the crowd like they did? Or is they going to do something that they don't do all the time, especially recently? Is Adam Cole going to make an appearance? I don't know. That's kind of the warm-up. It's what I wanted to talk about to begin with, because what I'm really excited about talking about tonight is SummerSlam and my favorite match in SummerSlam history. I got a couple, but what's great about this topic is I get to tell you guys not only about my favorite match in SummerSlam history, but my favorite match of all time. It's one of those topics where I finally get to bring it all together and talk about all of it, all in one fell swoop, and that makes me feel good. Because the match I'm going to end with, the match I'm going to talk to you guys about in just a few short minutes, is the greatest match in wrestling history. Story-wise, build, and some other things that I'm going to bring up as well. But I digress. Before we get there, let's talk about two honorable mentions that are two of my personal favorites. And maybe not matches that you're going to put in wrestling folklore, but just really incredible experiences that I think everybody needs to experience at some point if you're a wrestling fan. Also, you need to hit the like button. If you haven't done that shit yet, hit the goddamn like button, son. I see Old School Matt and Kirsty Graham, Santa Claus Mystic. I know Jade Rabbit snooping around somewhere in there. What's going on there, JD? True Noob is here. I don't know you, but hey, how you doing, pal? Frenchie Ben hanging out. All kinds of good people. Thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. But hit the like button. Show a little love and support to the channel. All kinds of ways to support the channel, of course. Like, subscribe, share, the whole shebang. Do it now. Let's start. Let's go to 2006. We're going to go chronologically here. Well, for the first two at least. 2006, a really bad SummerSlam overall. It has one of the worst matches I've seen in a very long time that I rewatched today with DX versus the McMahons. That match is just, it's painful. It's fucking painful. It's just awful. But it does have a very good match with a great story. One of the craziest things I've seen in a very long time in wrestling. And, of course, that is Ric Flair, Mick Foley, I Quit. This match was really, really important for me because these are two of my favorites. Obviously, Ric Flair being near and dear to my heart. And Mrs. Foley's baby's boy. Bang, bang. Mick Foley, who I love so much. This match was crazy because they had some actual deep-seated hatred between these guys. Not kayfabe hatred like we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. No. Actual, real fucking hatred. And it was real, and it was wonderful. It was bitter. That match was absolutely insane. Maybe not the best technical fight you're ever going to see. Maybe not even the best Extreme Rules fight you're ever going to see. But my God, was it absolutely insane to watch. Ric Flair lost his fucking mind in that match. Absolutely lost it. And it was great. I mean, lost it in the best possible way. If you go back and watch that match, if you can actually find the unedited version where Melina comes down and she's trying to tell Rick to stop beating Mick's ass, and he says, "Get away from me, bitch, or I'll kill you next." It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in wrestling. It still makes me smile. Bless you to the copious wife who's sneezing so silently in the background. Thank you for being discreet on your sneezes. But if you're going to sneeze, go big with it. It's okay. All right. So that was one of my favorite things I've ever seen. It's really great. It really is. It is absolutely fantastic. And I like the match. I like the brutality of it. The ending's kind of lame. Rick losing his mind like that is just incredible. Mick, not in the best shape, obviously, at that time, but he fought a really good fight. He also took one of the nastiest flatback bumps I've ever seen off the apron, hits his head on the trash can. Really, really sick bump. Flat back onto concrete with a little bit of padding. It was just a carpet, too. That was really gross. Hard to watch. Poor Mick. Bang, bang. I put those worms in my mouth and I chewed them up. I'm a good kisser. Bang, bang. Love me some Mick Foley. It's one of my favorite matches I've ever seen. It's SummerSlam. It's a good match. The other match I want to talk about comes from just a couple of years ago, man. Let's just rewind a couple of years back. Let's talk about the birth of the Beast. Because yes, Brock Lesnar has always been the Beast, but in his current run, he had one match that really brought him to serious dominance. It was, for me at least, because even after everything he had already accomplished, the one thing that I constantly look back to and go, oh my God, was that one-sided, absolute beatdown of John Cena. He beat his ass. And a beatdown in a main event is rare. All right, it is. A absolute squash like that, especially when it's not just a quick 30-second minute squash, it's fucking rare. This was a long, drawn-out beatdown, and it was beautiful to watch. It really was. When you take into consideration that it was against John Cena, it makes it even more memorable, more magical, because John Cena doesn't lose that way, ever. Never before, never since. Doesn't happen. It's absolutely fantastic. That match is so much fun to watch because Brock Lesnar really looked like he was having an absolute blast beating the shit out of John Cena. And John Cena sold the hell out of it too. He really did. It's really a fantastic match to watch. It's hard to put squash matches into best of anything, even favorites, but that's just one of those where you're watching it, you really appreciate the type of athlete and type of wrestler that John Cena can be. And Brock Lesnar just being Brock Lesnar, it's absolutely fantastic. So those two are my big honorable mentions, but they're not my favorite match in SummerSlam history because my favorite match in SummerSlam history is also my favorite match in the history of wrestling. In my opinion, there has never been a greater match, greater build, greater promo package than all the way back to 2002. That's right. You know where I'm going. The comeback match. The non-fucking... whatchamacallit, you know, the non-sanctioned match between Shawn Michaels and Triple H. That match for me, when you go back in all the history that is between those two people, everything, good, bad, and indifferent, and you build into the fact that Shawn Michaels had not wrestled in almost 5 years, 4.5 years, and you put into the fact that they built one of the coolest little sub-storylines we've seen at that period in WWE, which was a down period. 2002 is when things started to, for some people. Yeah. There was doing a lot, jamming a whole lot of shit in there, and not everything was sticking. But that was sticking. And that was amazing. That build with Shawn coming back to DX and then Triple H turning on him. It's just incredible to watch. Shawn then getting his head rammed through a fucking car window. And one of the most brutal spots that I've seen as far as like fake, let's set him down, put the makeup. That was great. It looked absolutely disgusting. It looked absolutely crazy. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was one of those things that you look at and you truly, truly appreciate in just the greatest fashion. Then you go to something a little bit crazier and you look at something that doesn't always matter, but when it does, it's really great. And of course, that's the promo package. The promo package for Shawn Michaels and Triple H 2002 is the best work WWE has ever done on a promo package. To this day, it is still the best work. Best music that they've used, best clips. It was just a great flow. It was fantastic. I love that. I watch that all the time. Now, the impact of a match like that really does resonate. And not a lot of people really knew that if it was going to be a true one-off or there was going to be something after it. It just turned out that Shawn Michaels would go on a run so good that it rivals, if not is better than his first run in WWE. It was amazing. It was great. And that makes the story even better to tell, because what happened between these two after that. That was just the beginning of a series of matches that they would have over the next couple of fucking years. It was great. It was fun. It was brutal. And they just pulled out all the stops. They absolutely went crazy with it. They used every spot that you can think of, every cheap trick, every little gimmick, everything that you can do without going to extreme measures like setting shit on fire. They used it. Shawn Michaels hit Triple H with a fucking shoe. A shoe that he took off of one of the Spanish announcers at one point. He went to every length that you could possibly want a wrestler to go to. He looked like a man who truly was fighting his last fight. He left it all in the goddamn ring. It's one of those things that I can't stop watching. I watch that match at least once a month because it just reminds me why I love wrestling in the first place. Because Shawn hadn't wrestled in so long that you can forgive if there was a sloppy performance, which there wasn't. Shawn looked dialed in, locked in, but it's so easy to when you're in there with a guy like Triple H who will never get the credit that he fucking deserves. Triple H should get the credit as at least a top 10 wrestler of all time, if not better. He's absolutely fantastic. He's absolutely great. Everything that he does is great. And by the way, promo-wise, everything he did in that promo setup, the build was great. But he's got another tie to SummerSlam promo greatness. Remember, building up to SummerSlam back in, 99? It was the famous, "I am the fucking game, JR." One of the greatest promos, shoot promos, if you believe the stories or not. One of the greatest promos ever. 3 minutes of epicness. Him going off, losing his shit, talking about all the things that wrestling fans wanted to hear at the time. That was amazing. Triple H had a knack for that. Still does. But in 2002, they took it to greater heights because they were able to play with something that was so easy to play with. Real life stuff between two best friends. Real life athletes that are two of the greatest to ever step in the ring. I don't know if there's anybody who had greater chemistry. Maybe Ric Flair and Steamboat. Maybe those two. Edge and Cena. Two guys who had incredible chemistry. But Triple H and Shawn Michaels, I'm fairly certain that they could put something together right now that would be main event worthy. That's how well they know each other. That's how well that they were so locked into what each other was doing. You go into that match and you watch the beginning of it. Shawn not coming out in traditional wrestling gear. Coming out in boots, wife beater, and pants. Loved it. With his old gear on top of it. The rip-away stuff. Loved that. Fantastic. Him being cocky before the match, giving one of these to Triple H. Triple H being the sick fuck that we know that he could be. When he is at his absolute best, sick-wise, doesn't get much better than that. Diddle said Flair and Dusty had great chemistry. Flair had great chemistry with just about anybody, to be fair. But I digress. It's just one of those things that you just don't get to see very often. And when you go at a match standpoint, it just doesn't get much better. Now, it's always hard to judge greatest match of all time. It's so subjective. That's why I'm saying it's my favorite. For me, it's the greatest match I've ever watched because I've never been so emotionally invested into a match, so that makes it the greatest match for me. But when you have an Extreme Rules match, and in this instance, an unsanctioned match, it makes it a little bit more difficult because all the rules are out the window, so it's hard to really judge what's spot and what's being worked like that and what's working on your emotions because the spot was so good. So it can get confusing. It can get difficult to really sit there with. It's like, okay, how good really was this match? Reality is when you judge it on the sum of its parts, it really is just a fantastic spectacle to watch. Now, I'm going to tell a little bit of a story. I've been talking to Jade today because Jade was going to be around for this show, and she's not a big wrestling person at all. So I said, do you want to know what my match is? And she said, yes. And so I told her what it was. And I was able to find the match for her. She doesn't watch wrestling. She's never watched any of it. Ever, ever, ever. Does not know the build. Does not know the history. Does not know anything about DX or any of that stuff. And she was enamored. It was a little bit brutal for her, to be honest. But it's just something that captivates you. Is Jay going to become a wrestling fan? Probably not. Probably not. But hey, the wife got converted into a wrestling fan because she bought in the same stuff. Not coincidentally, Shawn Michaels had a big part to do with that. Probably because she wanted to suck him. No? No suckage? No suckage of the Heartbreak Kid? That's unfortunate. I'd suck him. I'd suck him. I would suck everybody. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, madam. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Like anybody, even people who are not big wrestling fans, they can get into a match like that because it really is something that just kind of hits you. And it's just a gut punch. So that's my match, and I want to talk about that. And we're going to get to you guys in just a second. I want you to jump on into the Discord and let me know what you guys think. But before I do that, I want to talk about one final thing, and that's what I'm most looking forward to going in to this year's SummerSlam on Sunday. It's a pretty loaded card, man. There's some really, really great matches. But the one for me, now you guys are going to be like, this asshole's going to say Nakamura. You're wrong. As much as I can't wait to see Nakamura win and then subsequently lose the title more than likely, I am most excited for AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. This should be the culmination of a very weird feud. It should be something that is, because it's been built so bizarrely, this should be the match that everybody was expecting to see the first time. Now, the inclusion of Shane McMahon does kind of mess with stuff. Does. But AJ and Kevin, I think, are going to really tear the house down in a way that we haven't seen them got to do with each other before. So I'm very excited about that. And that's going to be a great fight. And that's the match I'm most looking forward to, even more than the Fatal 4-Way. And I am excited about that match. But here's the thing. I think they gave us too much in the build. We've seen 3 of them together. We've seen so much at this point that I don't know how much more Brock is going to add into this. So while I'm still excited for it, for me, AJ and Kevin is the one that I'm really looking forward to. So that's the match that I want to see. But now I want to hear from you guys. Any topic, any subject that you might have, wrestling or otherwise, please hit me up now. Get up in the Discord. I want to hear from you guys. Let's start with the Speaking Void. Speaking Void, you're live with Dead on Dave. What do you got?
Well, good evening, Dave.
Good evening.
I have plenty of questions, so to say.
Christ, here we go.
Okay, well, first of all, it's kind of a dick sucking, but I like the way you speak about the wrestling, and it's nice to see the diversity of your channel.
Well, I mean, this channel was started with wrestling, and it's always been a part of it, and it always will be. I mean, I love wrestling, and I always will. The problem is, people think that I just got out of wrestling for reasons that aren't even true. Fact is, I can't stay up all night to cover the goddamn thing. Now, a big part of it is wrestling's really hard to watch at the moment, so I don't watch it as much as I used to. But I'll always love it, and I'll always be passionate about it, and when the big stuff comes around and gets my dick hard, I'm going to talk about it, plain and simple.
Well, but it's nice to see that your dick's getting out and see how you're passionate when you're talking about the wrestling. So
thank you,
I'll
brother.
re-enjoy the stream.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That was the second question. I'm not that big into wrestling, but what's your opinion about the my favorite character, The Undertaker?
The Undertaker is probably the greatest big man to ever work. I don't think there's really too much question about that. As far as big men goes, there's no one greater than The Undertaker. The Undertaker is one of the top 5 performers in the history of the game. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of The Undertaker. I never bought into it. He never got it. He's just not for me. He never was. That doesn't mean that I don't respect the ever-loving shit out of everything that Taker did in his career. I mean, arguably nobody's done more than The Undertaker. He's going to go down as one of the most important, if not the most important wrestler that Vince McMahon ever brought in. Without The Undertaker, so much doesn't happen. So many stars don't get built. So many matches don't become important, including Hell in a Cell and many others. The Undertaker did something that not a lot of people, let alone big guys, would be able to do at any era in wrestling. He took an Undertaker gimmick, a guy with smoke and mirrors and urns and a big fat pasty white guy. He'd go, oh yes, the most corny shit that WWE could have possibly put together. And guess what? He made it fucking work. He made it work. He made it spooky. He made it believable. And this was after a plethora of failed spooky and supernatural storylines that came through WWE's way. It did not work. Undertaker did, for many, many reasons. And this is a guy who was well-traveled, who didn't work with other gimmicks, but for some reason, this just happened. This just happened. if you're just gonna troll, I'm just gonna go ahead and put you on timeout. All right? I'm just gonna troll you back. All right? Let the people that are here to enjoy, fuckhead. Okay? So nothing but respect for the Undertaker.
Well, and this is the four last question. What's besides Ric Flair? What's your favorite wrestling character?
Well, you mean just as far as who's my favorite wrestler? It's Shawn Michaels. It's Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels. It's 1 and 1A in my book. It always has been. When I was a kid, there was nobody did anything for me quite like Ric Flair did. And as I got a little bit older, Shawn Michaels took a bigger role in my life, just as far as how much I appreciated what he was able to do, especially after his comeback. You know, what he was able to do after a broken back. And by the way, same thing, Ric Flair broke his back in the fucking 70s. Still ended up having a 40 goddamn year career. So for me, it's those two. A couple of the other ones. I mean, I was a huge Rock fan, huge Stone Cold fan. Loved both of them immensely. I was a massive Chris Benoit guy. A massive Chris Benoit fan. Knew Chris Benoit a little bit. Got to eat with him a couple times living in Vegas. Really, really incredible wrestler. That whole story is still one of the saddest things in the history of wrestling. I like Goldberg a lot. Liked him less the older I got. So those are the ones for me.
Okay, so according to this, just due to curiosity, what's your how to name it? What's your category to say? Okay, this is a good wrestler or a bad wrestler? If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I think so.
How I
So
would classify.
what's the standards of quality? Let's say like this.
Well, it all depends on what you're looking for. I think you can just be a good wrestler and have a good career and just be either very charismatic or incredibly good athletically and great in the ring. I think you could be a great superstar with either of those qualities excelling to the next level. But for me, for a transcendent star, for a guy who's going to take the business to the next level, for a truly great superstar, a great wrestler, I think you need to be able to have a quality that's not easy to have, and that's being able to connect with. Whether it be a guy like Brock Lesnar, who's such an athletic freak and such just a crazy dynamic force that you can't help but be attracted to him, be enamored with him. Even though he can't speak a lick, it's never once affected Brock Lesnar. He's incredible. He's one of the greatest draws in wrestling history, in sports history. This guy makes money everywhere he goes. Rock, Stone Cold are very similar. Rock being one of the greatest athletes wrestling has ever seen. Stone Cold being one of the most psychologically gifted guys outside of Jake Roberts and guys like Roddy Piper and such. But both of them had that character about them that made you gravitate towards them, and for different reasons, which is even crazy enough. Stone Cold was the guy that you wanted to root for because he was the guy that you wanted to be at work to tell your boss to go eat a big dick burger. The Rock was the guy that you wanted to be, actually physically be. You look at him, you hear him talk, you see the things that he did. You wanted to be The Rock. Everybody did. So those are the type of stars that go to that type of level. Then you go into the type of guys who are so good in the ring that it doesn't matter how bad of a persona they might have. Guys like Daniel Bryan, for instance. Chris Benoit is another one of them. Guys who don't necessarily have the character that makes you drawn to them, but they're so much better than everybody else around them that you have to stand up and take notice. So I think there's different categories that can make you a superstar and legit guy that is a huge draw in the business. And then you have guys who get shit on, like John Cena, who John Cena falls into the Hulk Hogan category, the larger-than-life character, the guy who might not be the most athletically gifted you've ever seen or technically gifted wrestler, but again, he's got that personality, that larger-than-life, the never say die, they eat, train, vitamins, all that, say your prayers, train, and take your vitamins and all that shit. There's something about that. People buy into it. Hustle, loyalty, respect. People love it. Something about it. And it's also very polarizing. Hogan had the same problem as John Cena. People forget this. In 1993, 1994, you go back to WCW. Hulk Hogan was getting booed, motherfuckers. 94, that's when he went over there. 94, 95, he was getting booed. Just like Cena. Cena happened a little bit earlier, but for different reasons. So it's just interesting.
Okay, and what's your opinion, let's say, about the, I don't know if it's right to call it the mimification of some wrestlers, like, for example, John Cena, because, about his, intro song that some people are making memes out of this. So,
Well, yeah.
what's your opinion about it?
About what, as far as being memed?
Yeah, something about the mimification, about the wrestling characters and all of this shit that, let's be
it's
honest,
good.
the internet is quite cancerous about
I
this.
think it's
Like,
good.
it's John Cena.
I think it's good. I think it's a good thing. I think, look, because memeing is the new pop culture. Memeing something is the same thing as you would see in the 80s and 90s as a commercial, getting a lot of player talking about things being made stickers out of or buttons. I mean, the Urkel face on stickers and buttons everywhere. Same thing. Urkel being on Pogs. That was a meme. Did I do that? That was a meme. It's all memes. But now we have a proper word for it that you can retweet and tag so fucking easily, and it's a really cool, catchy little word. So I think wrestling, which has been memed in the past, catchphrases being memes themselves, signs being memes themselves, I think it's a good thing that there are guys in the business today that can be memed by pop culture. I think it's a good thing. I think it's crossover. You want to be able to see stuff like that. The fact that wrestling is not at the strongest place that it's been in the past 20 years, yet still garners a huge following on social media. In fact, at almost every major event, even some of the minor ones, pay-per-view wise, they're still Raw, SmackDown as well, still up there in the top 5, top 10 in social media impressions each and every single fucking night. That's important, and that's why it matters.
Well, okay. Thank you very much. And one last, maybe off-topic question, or another topic. First of all, greetings to the copious wife. And the question will be, will we see her again maybe in some stream, like, I don't know if it will be Nerd of the Jerk or something else? Because I found that episode very, very entertaining when you were there with your copious wife and, well, playing this game of jelly beans and all of this shit. It was very, very entertainment.
Oh, thank you. The wife comes on every now and then. She doesn't like to be on camera quite often, but typically, every so often, she'll come back and she'll come on and we'll have fun, get drunk, and all kinds of stuff, because people do tend to ask for her. But I don't know. It really all depends on her. Whenever she feels like coming on, all she's ever asked to do is open her big fat yap, which is not easy for her to do because Lord knows woman never talks. But she could, anytime she wanted to come back on. She knows that. So hopefully soon.
Well, I hope to see her soon again, and I wish you a good evening. And over the top rope I go.
Over the top rope you go. Thanks a lot, Speaking Void. Good stuff. All right, let's go to Miss Mystic. How did I know I'd get a call from Mystic tonight? What's going on, Mister? You're live and down there.
Well, hello, and isn't it expected? It's wrestling. I would always be here. Duh. Yeah.
What do you got for me?
Well, since we're talking SummerSlam and greatest matches, well, I don't really have a favorite SummerSlam match because
really,
because I was never allowed to buy pay-per-views before the network when I was a kid.
No, you got the network. Who cares?
Now I have the net. Well, I don't have the network.
Oh.
I got that.
You pay. Oh, see, now you're gonna make me beat you up. But go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I'm not gonna beat you up. Go.
If you don't know what he's talking about, Chad, he's gonna beat me up for paying $10 for NJPW,
but not gonna pay for the catalog of the greatest wrestling ever. The catalog, not necessarily today, but I mean, geez, it's got everything from the past. Do your history, woman. Come on.
I didn't. Okay. I watch a lot of match for free on YouTube, damn it. Especially from the past, and I fucking love it. But
not the same.
I don't want to. Whatever. I'm going to talk. First, before we start, can I get a woo in the chat just for Ric Flair's sake?
The name Dubai! Woo! With a tear in my eye. My man. My fucking man. He better fucking pull through.
Let's hope he comes out okay. Let's get a woo.
I don't think
he is.
I'm very concerned.
He is old.
I'm very concerned. He's 69 years old. He drank like a fucking fish. They had to medically fucking put him in a coma for a heart surgery. This is not good. It is a bad situation.
It's so sad. I hope he's okay. I hope Charlotte's all right. I bet she's so scared.
Oh God, I can't even imagine.
Anyway.
Yeah, but please, go ahead. What do you got?
To the topic, I'm gonna tell a story about my one SummerSlam memory that I have, which I think it was SummerSlam 2013. I was really active. My parents know that I watched wrestling a lot. Everyone, like my parents still don't know how I got into wrestling. I've been into wrestling since I was a kid, and I was begging them to. I'm like, please let me see SummerSlam. Please let me watch SummerSlam. Or please, can we go? Because it was at Staples Center and it's in my area, Los Angeles. And I wanted to go so bad. He's like, no, your cousins are here. No one really likes it. I don't want to pay $60 for wrestling, yada yada. I'm like, come on. I was so heartbroken. I was so sad.
I can imagine.
And that day, the Sunday of SummerSlam, that day, we went to this vineyard with my cousins who were visiting from Florida, and they're like, oh, we just want to go to, we always want to go see the Grammy Museum, and I wanted to see the Grammy Museum because it was new at the time, and I didn't know, but turns out it was literally smack dab right next to the Staples Center.
Oh shit.
So my parents were like, oh, Aurora's always wanted to go too. How about that's my real name, Aurora, if you don't know. I just doxed myself.
You did. Good job. Good job.
But it was my Twitter name for a while. It's not
back to the story. Back to the story.
Standpoint. Yeah, staying on point. Focus. So it's like, oh, she wants to go too. How about you take her? I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going. Didn't know that it was right next to the Staples Center. Next thing you know, I'm there being tortured by everyone in shirts. The posters are everywhere. Like, people are screaming. Like, the buses are all there, and I'm just standing there like, I want to cry.
Right.
I'm so close, but yet so far. It was so sad.
Yeah.
I really wanted. I think it was CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. That's the one match I wanted to see so bad.
No shit.
And I knew something was going to be happening with Randy Orton that night. He cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase that night. I remember. And I knew it. I knew it in my heart of hearts.
Daniel Bryan John Cena match, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I knew it was like I'm like, Randy's gonna come. I know it for a fact. And I'm when I was a kid, I was the biggest mark for Randy Orton. Even bigger for the Undertaker, but Undertaker is my god. He's in a whole nother realm. I don't even mark for him. I praise him. I pray to the Undertaker.
Good Lord, I am the Lord of Darkness, boy.
So that's my
He's not retired, by the way. He's not retired.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna wrestle again. Anyone doesn't think he's gonna wrestle again is fucking retarded. He's retired. I guarantee you, he will wrestle again. Guarantee he will wrestle again.
Okay.
The Rock guarantees he's gonna wrestle again. But we'll see. We'll see. So that's a good story. That's a good story of you getting your heart broken and not getting to go.
Yeah. That was my one and only SummerSlam memory, honestly. I have never seen a SummerSlam.
Never been to a SummerSlam. I never got to go.
Never.
Yeah. Never.
Same.
I'd go to this one. I would love to see this one. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Apparently it's been confirmed that SummerSlam is going back to Brooklyn for a 4th straight year. Good. It's a good home. They fucking murdered. They can do 3 consecutive nights in that arena. Not a lot of arenas in the world that you can do something like that. 3 consecutive nights. They'll probably do the 4th now with SmackDown. Why the hell wouldn't they? It's brilliant. Yeah. It's great. I love it. I
want them to come back to LA. Now that I have my own job and I can pay for my own damn ticket.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm seeing the reports on Ric Flair getting out of surgery. Let's see here. Yeah, according to Meltzer. According to the report, Flair was scheduled to have surgery this week, but it's unknown whether the surgery was today or the original surgery scheduled for a new surgery. The reason the WWE Hall of Famer's hospitalization is into the intensive care unit in Atlanta, Georgia, is still not known. It's believed Flair is dealing with a heart issue, but nothing has been confirmed. When Flair was first hospitalized, his manager, Melinda Morris Zanoni of Legacy Talent of Entertainment, indicated that it was for routine monitoring. There was no reason to panic. Then she ended up kind of recanting that. Okay. So this is actually not, it's not a great freaking report. I got to be completely honest here. This is from F4W Online. not a great report. And here's the thing. The surgery was only a couple of hours ago. So it kind of worries me that he's already out if it was as big and serious as people were saying. It could be nothing. Who knows? We'll see. I'm still worried, still concerned. I don't want him to fucking die. I just don't, I'm not ready yet, you know? I'm not ready to live in a flare-free world. We'll see. All right, Mystic, anything else for me there, gorgeous?
Nope. That was just my SummerSlam story, and I'm excited for the rest of the week, and I will definitely see you Thursday.
Yes, I know. I'm sure you will. Cannot wait for that. I'm probably trying to change the show at the last minute just to upset you.
Oh, please
no. No, I won't. I wouldn't. Would I do that to you? Never. Never. Yeah. All right, Mystic. Have a good night.
All right, you too, Dave.
Take it easy. All right, let's stick with the female persuasion. I've seen she's been in there for a little while. Let's bring her in. Jade Rabbit is here. Now, why would Jade be here for a wrestling show? Because she got an experience of wrestling awesomeness earlier tonight. What's going on, Jade?
Well, I hope my internet allows it. Just tell me.
You're good.
Shut up.
You're good.
Okay,
You're
good.
straight. Go ahead.
For now.
Grip it and rip it. Grip it and rip it, girl. Come on.
So you kind of put me on the spot a little bit.
How did I do that? I just simply said that you watched a match, which you did.
Which I did. But I didn't expect you to say anything.
Why? Of course I'm going to say something. When you can convince somebody who's not a wrestling person to watch a wrestling event and then they actually like watch the entire thing. She's tweeting me the whole time telling me, "Oh my God, there's a table. Yeah. Oh my God." It was great. I was like, "Oh, this is amazing. That's incredible." No, because for those of you who don't know, Jade works with me exclusively with the Pokemon stuff, and she's always there for the Pokemon stuff, and she's come over here and she's done other things with the main channel as well, but she's really not into this shit, you know? So to be able to get her into wrestling is kind of cool, so...
I only found out today that like Sasha Banks has purple hair and now I like her. Like that's where the fuck I'm coming from.
You gotta know how to work people into it. So like I know you like music, and I even forgot to bring up Sasha Banks and her purple fucking hair. that should have been what I led with. Holy God.
Yeah, that should have been what you led with. Like, hey, Jade, there's a girl with purple hair. You might like her.
I like her. She's the boss. She's the boss.
Oh. But yeah, for that match that you sent me, oh my God, it was just like, I don't know. Again, I know that everything's like usually pre-planned and that's just like the nature of it. But like for that, I was actually very much afraid. I was like, oh my God, like what is going on? Is this real? Oh no. Like
well, let me tell you, everyone was fine.
Yeah.
Everyone was good.
Okay.
Nobody's hurt.
Okay.
They're still, they're okay.
Even after all the blood?
Yeah.
After all that blood?
They're fine. Yeah. See, that's what wrestling is really about. It's about suspending your disbelief. You know that they're going to be okay, but it doesn't really matter because you're still afraid for them. God, I wish I could jump inside. That sounded dirtier than I intended it to be. That sounded dirtier than I intended it to be. Did not mean to word it that way, but I wish I could experience that, because you don't get that as much anymore. Because now we're jaded old wrestling fans, and that was not to turn a pun. We are actually jaded. Because the older you get, the more that you've seen, it doesn't get you all tingly in the warm and fuzzy bits anymore. Now you're just kind of like, oh, I'm not. I got to mark out for something. It's hard. So to be able to talk to somebody while they're experiencing something that I firmly believe is one of the greatest matches, if not the greatest match in wrestling history, and see you react to it, it doesn't get too much better. I got to live vicariously through you.
Isn't that so fun? But yeah, I was on edge. I felt like I was. God damn. You want to jump down the rabbit hole?
Right, yeah. Not making it better. Not making it better. Thank you, though.
God damn it.
Good Lord.
So,
I felt
like I was going to miss shit by messaging you like, oh my God, that chair is fucked up. Why'd they take off a shoe? Why'd they take his poor man's shoe? I was just there like, what?
I loved it.
Actual hell.
I loved it.
Like, give the man back his Jordans or whatever the fuck it is. Oh.
That's so good.
And just like, I don't know. Was that like all real blood too? They just bleed for the art. Like that's what I viewed it as.
See, back in the day, they used to do capsules, and so it was all fake blood. But now, and in that time, they do something called blading, where they'll take a small little razor blade and they'll just pop a little blood vessel up in their head. And it might look like a lot of blood, but it's actually not as much as you would think. It looks like a crazy amount, and it looks really good on camera, but it's really not all that dangerous to the performers. That's why they don't really do it much anymore, especially in WWE. But it's a little color is not the worst thing in the world. It can really sell the emotion of an event. To have them both in a crimson mask like that was pretty special. Pretty special.
I get pretty, like, I don't know, not too iffy about blood, but I don't know. You even warned me, oh, it's going to be bloody. And then I'm just there like, all right, yeah, it's real bloody. All right. Well, I was going to ask, what would be your second top then for SummerSlam that I should watch next?
Well, I mentioned 2 other matches earlier. I wouldn't really recommend them for somebody who's just getting into wrestling. That's more for established stuff. And even maybe you can make the same argument for Triple H, Shawn Michaels. I just feel that match is so good that anybody could watch it and be completely good. Other SummerSlam matches that I would highly recommend. Another Shawn Michaels match, 1995. Him and Reza Ramon. Ladder match. Fantastic fight. Really, really good match. That's one of the most fun wrestling matches you'll see. Again, stipulation match with a ladder, but pretty damn cool. God, there's so many. Another ladder match, Triple H, oddly enough. Triple H to Rock, 97, 98? I'm going to get beat up for that. Oh, shit. One of those 2 years. Those are fantastic. 99 had a great SummerSlam with a Fatal 4-Way main event. That was really good. There's so many. I can make you a list because there are just so many. Right. And it all depends on what you want to see. I could also point you in the direction of some really great women's matches that I think you'll really enjoy. If you actually want to get into wrestling, there's a little starter kit that I think that you can really get into. Maybe not going as hard as going right into the big events, but there's some good stuff that I think that you'll really enjoy.
Well, I'll tell you, like, teach me how to doggy paddle first before I go free diving, please. Don't just, like, I don't know, attach me to some concrete boots and drag me down deep.
I'm not going to throw you into the deep end. Don't worry. We'll take care of you.
Even though I'm a quick learner.
We'll buy you some John Cena floaties, and we'll make sure that you're in it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be good. Yeah. Hustle, loyalty, and float, motherfucker. That'll be great. You'll be fine. It'll all work out. All right. Anything else that I can do for you tonight, Miss Jade?
No, I think that's it. I think we just covered everything. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed the match, and thanks for having an open mind and actually watching it. So that's really cool.
Of course. Yeah. Like, it was a good match. Like, again, I don't watch wrestling, and I was just enamored. You were correct.
The question is really, were you entertained?
Oh yeah, I was very anxious the entire time.
That's it. I mean, that's really it. If you're entertained, I mean, there's really not much else to say. So I'm glad that you were.
All right, awesome.
All right, Miss Jade, let me go get Santa Claus. You have yourself a good night.
Yeah. You too. Thanks.
JD, everybody. Jade Rabbit. All right, let's bring in Santa Claus. What's going on, Kyle? You're live with Dead on Dave.
What's up, dude?
It's crack-a-lackin', buddy. How you feeling? I know you had a rough day.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit okay now.
Good, man.
The pain off, so I'm doing good.
Let's talk a little bit of SummerSlam. What do you got for me, pal?
One match I want to get your opinion on.
Yeah.
This is probably going back, it's going back 6 years ago now.
Okay.
John Cena versus CM Punk with Triple H as special guest referee.
That was that the stick the winner match? No, that wasn't that. What match was that? Was that stick?
That was for the titles.
Yeah, but was that the Kevin Nash at the end of it where he came and stuck CM Punk, or was that a different event?
I think that may have been a different one.
It might have been. From what I can recall of it, which I got to be honest is not much, which is probably telling me right now that it wasn't all that memorable to me. Honestly, it's been a while since I've watched that match. I don't think I've watched it since 2011. And I had an issue. It's not even that any of that stuff between those two were bad or anything, but they did a lot together. And I kind of tuned out to it after a while. I kind of started, like CM Punk, I really do enjoy CM Punk. I think the longer that we get away from CM Punk and the more time that we don't have him in wrestling and you go back and you start watching more of CM Punk's matches, he has a problem. He's got one problem, and I call it the Bret Hart problem. Essentially, if you've seen one CM Punk match, you've seen them fucking all. And he was very, CM Punk had, like, even as much as, it's kind of weird saying this in a match with John Cena, but when you know CM Punk is going, he doesn't deviate from plan. He has very specific things that he does. It's kind of paint by numbers, and I know I'm going to get shit on for this. I understand that, but it's just what I believe. I've gone back and I've watched more CM Punk matches, so it's kind of hard to be fair, because I haven't seen that match in a long time, so I can't give it a very good remembrance.
It was the Kevin Nash.
It was the what?
It was the Kevin Nash.
Okay,
one.
so that match was shit.
Del Rio
okay.
Nashing.
Oh yeah, that match was dog shit. Okay, I remember that match because I was wondering. Okay, but you said it wasn't a Nash match. If that was a Nash match, that was a dog shit match. Dog shit match. And I'll tell you something else. Should have been a fucking great feud afterwards. People didn't give that shit a chance. I think Kevin Nash, CM Punk could have done business. Not only them, I didn't even hate the shit that he did with fucking Triple H afterwards. But that's just me.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. One other feud that went across several SummerSlams, I think, it went on for a few years, Orton and Cena. Because Orton is probably one of my favorite ever.
Kind of the same type of issue where you've seen so many of those two together. However, I think the overall quality of Orton and Cena is far surpasses what Cena and Punk did. Orton's one of those guys that you can put in anywhere and he's just always going to perform. You know, I mean, Orton is just that type of guy. And I love him. Love him to death. And I love what he does.
Yep.
Him and Cena were able to get a lot of magic out of each other. They got brutal at times. They went to really, really dark places with each other. And it was always fun to watch. So I was a big fan of those two. Kirsty Graham's getting ready to stab me. She's going to find some Irish utensil or, excuse me. Now she's really going to stab me.
Oh, shit.
Scottish.
She's really going to kill you.
Celt's a Celt. I don't give a fuck. Scottish God, she's going to choke me with something because I shit on her boy a little bit. Hey, he's not that he's not great. It's just he's not that fucking great. And on top of it, he's a doucher. Let's deal with it, Kirsty. It's okay. Pump the brakes, girl. It's fine.
It's a good way to get yourself killed.
She's going to kill me. She's going to beat the balls. I can't believe she's not calling in to yell at me. It's too funny. It's too funny. I'm going to get my crossbow and protect myself. What else you got for me, Santa?
Not much currently. I'm trying to think when this was. When DX came in on the tank in SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, versus
that was.
Legacy. That was should have been 2007, I think.
Yeah.
I think 2000. Yeah, no, but it's 2006. They took on Vince McMahon and his son.
Yeah, they did.
And so had to be 2007. Had to be. I'm getting beaten up now. Oh no, Dave, you might want to get inside me. No, what are you doing, Jade? No,
Jade,
no. Oh my God. Well, you know. Anyway, what happened? I blacked out. I don't know.
Blacked out.
TKO Rising's up in here. Yep, they're all about to. I'm gonna get lynched by Kirsty. He's my asshole. Fair enough. Hey, I didn't tell you not to like him. Calm down, woman. I didn't tell you not to like him. Shit. Like him all you want. He's just a dickhead, and I don't like him. Well, did Dave make fun of Kirsty? No, I called her Irish. It was an accident. I made fun of CM Punk, which is apparently not a good idea, but I did it anyway. Because I ain't afraid of shit. Oh shit, she's here. Fuck. Okay, I am a little afraid. Santa.
I'll stay here with you if you want.
No, I gotta be a man. I've gotta take this by the horns. All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Pray for me. Oh my God. Okay. Hi, Kirsty. How are you?
Just you wait a second to unmute the stream, please.
Hi. How are you doing? Did I tell you that I really think your pictures are so pretty right now? I think you're beautiful. Yeah, you're looking great. And I love everything that you're doing over there with Will and on that wrestling show thing that you do. It's great. You guys are killing that thing that you said the other night where you said that was hilarious. You're great. What's up, Kirsty?
Listen, you need to butter me up for this, or I'm just gonna go ham.
Yeah, I know.
Punk's great.
I know it's coming.
Like, I know he's an asshole, but he's my asshole.
I get it. I'm not even saying he's not great. I just feel that when you watch a lot of his matches, especially when you go, and you, to be fair, you could say this a lot about a lot of wrestlers, okay? Because match types, they get into flows. I just feel that he doesn't get enough fucking shit for it. Because, man, especially from, I'd say the last 3.5 years, It was fucking same match every goddamn night. And it got much for me. That's all. I understand that's when he was most over, but for me, it got a little bit much. And you know what? I might be being unfair because I just hate the prick.
I just like I watched like on a weekly basis. At some point, I will watch a Punk and ROH match, like just a random because reasons.
Yeah.
And he's just.
Oh, you want to talk early days Punk? That's a different thing altogether. That's a different.
See,
thing
I just
altogether.
thought you meant it's a general thing.
No, I'm talking about his WWE run more than anything else. No, you want to talk his Ring of Honor run.
Kevin?
Jesus,
Yes,
as much as I'm fucking giving credit to the NXT roster that's currently Ring of Honor during that period, 2003, 2004, all the way up really into 2006, fucking loaded. Loaded,
even
absolutely
then,
loaded.
2009 and 2010.
Oh no, I can't get on you 2009, 2010. That's where I felt that it was starting to go, and the visually it was always going to give you eye cancer, which is unfortunate. But you know, you watch that low def shit.
Not good shit. No, the pay-per-views were not good.
No.
So many angry nights
No,
just cut
they're
off
bad.
at the main event, and you're like, "Fucking why ROH fix this?" Oh yeah.
By the way, Will says not Will. Chris says tell.
Don't listen. I've read it. Don't listen to him.
It's true though. Kenny Omega is absolute dog shit. He really is. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you, he's absolute dog. He's bad for the business. He's awful. He's gonna kill wrestling. I hate him.
It's fine. He has a T-shirt that says that you can wear for him.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it so funny when you you take the criticism and you put it on a shirt so you can't be criticized? No, you still suck, Kenny. You still suck. You over-exaggerate. That over-exaggerating cuckbag.
Oh.
He over-exaggerates everything. How can you over-exaggerate a smile? How can you over-exaggerate a smile? He does it. He fucking does it, Kirsty. Like, here, watch my smile right now, guys. See here? That's a smile. Kenny Omega does this when he smiles.
He's supposed.
I hate him. I hate him.
I don't get it. I don't understand. He's absolutely amazing, and you just
Not in the ring. He's not.
know. Lies.
No.
Absolute lies.
No.
You can't have the athletic fucking matches this man has.
Sure you
on a
can if you're a
constant
spot
basis,
monkey, which is
but
what
if
he
you
is.
win-
He's a spot monkey.
What?
He's a spot monkey.
Oh.
Yeah. Get power bombed into the fucking into the steel again by Okada. Then you sell it for 7.5 minutes. You lay there. You don't do another fucking move. Yeah, 6 stars. Now fuck that. Can't deal with it. Everything's exaggerated. His stupid kicks that he does. I hate him.
Or do you hate the match that much, or do you hate the positive reaction that match got that made you hate him?
No, the thing is, I don't really care about when people overhype a match. I'm guilty of it all the time myself. I make fun of it, but it doesn't really affect it. I watched the match the first time, and I bought into the same hype. I really did. But I typically don't watch a match once. I watch a match, especially one that's really, really hyped up. Give it 24 hours, and then I watch it again. And then I try to watch it again. If I could watch it that third time and I still feel the same way about it, it's a great match. However, when I watched it the second time, I was fucking bored. I was bored out of my mind. That is a boring match. The first one is fucking boring. I get it. I get it. The big moves, they're exciting, but they're all fucking set up. They're sold for 3 to 4 minutes a piece until they're just not sold anymore. It's just... I don't know. Kenny Omega, but it's not even just the series with Okada. I look back to everything else that he does, and it's just so rare when he just goes out there and tries to be. I've seen stuff from his Canadian days that Corbeil showed me that I was like, man, where the fuck is this guy? Where is this fucking guy? But when he's on TV, can't deal with it.
I honestly, I love Kenny. So I love Bullet Club in general, but I have this weird love for Kenny.
Let me ask you: Do you really love this Bullet Club though? I mean, like this is the weakest the Bullet Club's ever been. I'm sorry.
And yet it's still fucking great.
No,
and
it's
they're
not.
really hot topic.
No.
Like it is. Do you watch New Japan like on the weekly? Or
I don't watch it all the time. No, I don't watch it.
Then
I would
how
not.
can you judge
Because I
that?
watch it enough because here's the thing. I'm a wrestling guy. I've been watching wrestling my entire life. If wrestling's good, I stick the fuck around. I turn it on. It sucks. I turn it off. I don't turn it off because I just hate the product. I turn it off because it's bad fucking wrestling. That it's all contrived bullshit. They're not accomplishing anything. I'm sorry. People shit on John Cena because he doesn't sell anything. These motherfuckers don't sell anything or they oversell the world. I'm sorry. I can't get into it. I
They're
can't.
great.
I try.
There's two
I try.
very different. Again, for this, like, people are all, like, obviously with the NWO thing. People either loved the NWO or hated them, and look how big they are. And
Oh, in
20
the
years'
day,
time,
that's
people
not
are
true.
still
In the day,
funny.
nobody hated the NWO. I lived through it. Nobody hated the NWO. When the NWO was in its prime, when it first
But you go to
started.
Japan and nobody hates Bullet Club. Like, where Japan
Well,
started,
no, of
that's
course
Bullet
not.
Club right
Well,
now.
yeah, no.
So
Look, I'm not shitting on the popularity that they have there in the cut. Look, I'm very happy for the success that they're having. Bullet Club's never going to be big here, baby girl, in the States. Just ain't gonna happen. It's just
Well, I
not.
live in the UK and I'm happy as shit because I'm basically getting a full Bullet Club fucking show next week, and I couldn't be happier. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to enjoy all 3 fucking hours of it, and there's not a thing you can do to change my mind.
I'm not trying to change your mind. You asked my opinion. I'm not trying to change your mind.
I know, but so many people ask all the time, they're like, Kirsty, just stop. And I'm like, no, I love it.
I'm glad you enjoy it. I'm glad you find entertainment of it. Look, the reality is I don't believe that anything like this is going to kill the wrestling industry. The wrestling industry is going to keep going on. It's going to be ebbs and flows. There's always things like this, and there's an ass for every fucking seat. I'm not going to try to convince you. It's otherwise, just when we're talking opinions, you ask me mine, I'm going to let you know. I fucking just don't like it. Doesn't do it for me. Sarah Small with a $5 donation. Adam Cole, baby. Love you, Dave, and everyone. Love you too.
This is why I was going to phone in about this, and I was looking up the Ric Flair shit, and then you started on Punk, and I was like, don't dare tell me that anything in ROH was ever the same twice, because it wasn't.
I wasn't shitting on the ROH days. I should have specified that, and I apologize to trigger
that's when I took offense. I was like, no. But the last 3 years, I just think he didn't care anymore, and he was like,
maybe.
They want me to wrestle this way, then I'll wrestle this way. Like, I think there was no real fire there for him anymore, no pun intended, with his theme song.
Real quick. I'm sorry. Jade, listen to me, okay? Do not listen to Mystic. Do not watch these fucking matches that she's going to send you. Here's the thing. Because listen, everybody you're talking to is young as fuck, okay? They're all young, and they didn't grow up the same way I did. If you want to get an actual fucking proper history lesson, you go back, you watch all the other stuff first, then you get into this new age shit so you can see the garbage that it is. Because what's going to happen is you're going to watch it, you're going to buy into it because you don't know better in the industry. You don't know why this is bad. Come to me first. I'll give you everything you need. Then you can go watch that shit. And you can fucking be like, oh, yeah, see, Dave's right. He's 100% right.
See, because I grew up with my granddad who had, like, the network before it was the network, just in VHS tapes. And, like, whenever we'd go around, he would put on these old as shit matches with people I had never heard. And that was my introduction to wrestling, was, like, old territory shit. So I still love the Young Bucks. I know it goes against, it's like this meta world that they have created for themselves. Like, Bullet Club is its own entity, kind of outside whatever promotion it's in, and it kind of makes it that cool, we're in on the joke thing, the same way that, like, DX and NWO and stuff.
But they're not, though. The thing is, they're a cheap imitation, at best. I mean, they can't even get fucking mannerisms that are original. I mean, it's just... It really bothers me. There's a reason why, you stop after a while. DX and NWO existed at the exact same time. One a little bit later than the other, but essentially the exact same time. That's why it didn't matter. Had DX started 5-6 years after, they wouldn't have been able to fucking do what they did. Because after something like that happens, you can't do the exact same thing, which is all the fucking Bullet Club is doing. It's all they're doing. Jesus Christ, all they do is fucking too sweet all the time. Jesus Christ, they're just, I can't. I want to kill myself. I do. I just kind of want, I want to take a Bullet Club to the head. That's what I want to do. But no, also, don't fucking undervalue the fact that you grew up in the UK. You grew up in a completely different wrestling culture. And so, I mean, you're a different animal altogether. Those are fucking UK wrestling fans. You guys are absolutely nuts. In the best possible way. You guys are fucking crazy. And you grew up with that stiffer style. So, I mean, you're kind of a little bit more easily to get right into all the New Japan type stuff.
I think, like, when I first seen New Japan, I was like, oh, I get this. This is like our wrestling, because it's stiff and it's grappling and it's hard work. And then occasional high spots unless it's a Bucks match where there's all. But I also grew up loving the Hardys, which means
Yeah.
I just loved high spots. So for me, Bullet Club is a really great mix of everything I love in wrestling.
But I just feel they don't execute anything well. Yeah, that's my biggest problem with New Japan a lot of the time. It's just all so fucking set up to a way that it doesn't look that good. The kicks don't look like kicking in Japan used to be fun. By the way, in the 90s, I'm a New Japan guy. Old school shit. You want to talk some 90s fucking New Japan? Let's fucking go, because that shit was awesome. That shit was great. But the problem is there's no personalities that make me give a flying fuck anymore. And it just, I don't feel the wrestling's that good. I just have a problem. I hate the Bullet Club. I hate them. Hate them to death.
Do you hate just this version or all Bullet Club ever?
No, I like this Inception is what's really I've had a problem with. And I know that the Young Bucks have had a part in almost every iteration. But I loved AJ Styles. I loved Finn Balor as leader of the Bullet Club. He was perfect.
My favorite thing to watch for Bullet Club is that very first vignette after the first, when it was Tama, Fale, Carl and Finn, well, Devitt, and just Tama is out somewhere still kicking the shit out of whoever they were against, and Finn just pulls this promo where he swears like 19 times and he's like, Bullet Club is here, and then they just walk away, and it's it makes me
Finn
happy,
was so good. God, he was a great heel. Fuck, he was such a good heel.
He's so
disgustingly
really
so.
Because I get that he's pretty and everything, but why is he face? The only thing better than a baby face that's good looking and cool like that is a heel baby face that's good looking and cool.
I think they're worried, and this comes down to the whole demographic thing. I think they're worried about if they give him a microphone and have to have him cut a promo as a heel that is long and winded, that people are simply not going to fucking care. Look, Sheamus is an amazing speaker. That dude can talk, okay? People fucking hate Sheamus on the microphone. It's because Americans just don't like the accent stuff. It bothers them. Shinsuke Nakamura should never have a microphone in his hand. Ever, because it's not going to work. Finn Balor probably should be kept away from microphones. It's not going to work. People don't give a fuck. There's just not a lot of guys who are able to cross that boundary. Cesaro's another one.
What's happening with Cesaro really upsets me because he is great. Wrestling wise, he is fantastic. And it just isn't the whole thing just now is kind of working for him and Sheamus, but it's got a glass ceiling on it. There's only so far that will take them. And I genuinely believe that if they had kept his NXT persona and kept him heel, that he would be, because again they've turned him heel with Sheamus and they've taken off in their future. He should always. I knew Castagnoli as a heel on the Indies, and that's what
Well, try to remember when he first came up to the main roster, he was a heel, and he was an awful heel. It didn't work. Look, Claudio was amazing. Okay, I know what you're fucking talking about here. I know Claudio. I'm not fucking retarded here. I know what we're talking about.
Well, I know. I'm just I'm just explaining how I feel. It makes me upset.
I just don't think he was never going to translate to the main audience. And that's what people want to say. Well, that doesn't matter. The fuck it doesn't matter. Cody Rhodes is proving WWE's point right now. I understand that Cody is talking about all the money that he's making currently and everything. I don't fucking buy it. His matches are fucking dog shit. They are dog shit, right? Come on, Kirsty. Come on, Kirsty. His matches right now are fucking terrible.
That the 2 out of 3 Falls match with Christopher Daniels. Are you kidding me?
Okay, all right. Wait, that's Christopher fucking Daniels. Hold on a second. Pump the fucking brakes. That's Christopher goddamn Daniels. One match does not make a fucking good 2-year run. No,
he's had this 2-month run with Christopher Daniels, and it's been fucking great.
We had one good match with fucking Christopher. Ring of Honor is almost unwatchable anyway, but fucking, my God, Kirsty.
Because you don't like Bullet Club?
That's because I don't like the fucking wrestling down there. I don't like it. It just doesn't work. That's just me. But to be fair, I don't like any wrestling right now. All wrestling's bothering me. I'm having an issue with it. But I am excited for SummerSlam. Yes. I think they've been doing a good job of building it properly.
Because they have 4 weeks and they have a whole bunch of talent. Can we please go back to this? can we just have like they can do split brands, but let the main focus of those shows be on one pay-per-view a month, and it will be amazing. And it will give people, if they only watch the pay-per-views, it will give them a reason to go watch both Raw and SmackDown because there's separate people on it. Why can't we have this? It's too much.
I think the brand split can work. I do. I still believe that it can. I do think
it's the pay-per-view thing for me that really bugs me.
The funny thing is, I think that even the pay-per-view schedule can work, but the issue is there's just nothing interesting going on Raw and SmackDown for 3 of the 4 weeks between their next pay-per-view. The fact that there's a second pay-per-view, there's 2 pay-per-views a month, I don't think it really hurts anything. Because if you're watching each brand and each story is good for the 4 weeks before their brand's next pay-per-view, you're going to get engaged if the stories are good. Stories ain't good. You know, and they keep focusing on the same people instead of going out and really trying to build somebody. Like they tried with Jinder, but everybody knew the reasons behind it, and that made people immediately doubt it. Well, they're just putting him in there because he's the only fucking Indian that they got. So they put him in there, and people don't like Jinder all that much, so it's kind of difficult. Then you throw in the steroid allegations and all of that. So that was doomed to fucking fail. I don't know why they thought bringing the Great Khali in there was going to help him, but it didn't.
I don't know why.
I know what can fix this, Kirsty. Great Khali. That'll fix it.
No. Said nobody
ever.
Why? Oh, see when he held that title up as if it was his, I was like, put that down. Don't be getting any ideas. The only worst option right now is you, and we ain't gone there. Stop. Oh, I was so pissed. Yeah. Like, and they couldn't find his music either, which I thought was hilarious. So he just came out to Jinder's music and confused everybody because they couldn't see what was going on. So they heard Jinder's music and went, did they get out? And had to look around for it. Was worst.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's terrible.
It was really bad. It was really bad. And then they're having to resort to things like bringing out of shape Jericho back, like doughy Chris Jericho. That was sad. So I've never seen Chris Jericho look that bad in a wrestling ring. That was sad, man. That was hard to watch.
I've seen Fozzy twice. I was like, no, I've seen that Chris Jericho before.
But I've never seen that Chris Jericho in a wrestling ring.
Not in wrestling.
Chris Jericho's one of my top 5. He's one of my top 5 favorites ever.
I love great.
Chris Jericho, baby. I love Chris Jericho. That's my guy. But fuck, man, was he just? He might be done. I don't know. He might be over.
Arthritis and everything now. Like I feel as if when you get arthritis, that's probably the point that you should go, I'll stop now.
Maybe.
But like, there's so many people on WWE's main roster right now that are like, yeah, I've got arthritis, but I've still got 2 years left, so I'll just stay them. And I'm like, no, stop. Maybe it's because I have a gran who has serious arthritis, but I'm just like, you don't want this. This is not okay. Stop it.
Well, hopefully they got a nice young crop of kids coming up from NXT at some point that's going to make things a hell of a lot more interesting. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Because they're loaded. They're loaded.
It's basically all the last 2 years ROH and PWG roster, which makes me so happy. Like there are, and ICW at this point as well. Like it's beautiful because I already know all of these characters.
Yeah, you do.
I'm very happy.
And I think that's part of the point. You know, like all of this happened around the same time when the UK finally got the network. It's not coincidence. You know, it happened for a reason, and it to an extent it's worked. I wish some of the UK guys would be used a little bit more, especially the UK division. Yeah, I want to see Pete Dunne. I want to see these guys.
Yeah.
I want to see Trent Seven. I want to see these motherfuckers. I want to see Wolfgang. I want to see them. They were great.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that Wolfgang had a match along the road for me 2 days ago, so I still get to, but everybody else gets to, should be able to see this too.
I want to see him on WWE television. I want to see him.
Same, give them that payday. They deserve it. Give them that money.
Right.
Because they deserve it. Dog, I'm going to kill you every time.
We'll see how it goes. I think you're going to be very happy because I'm fairly certain that Drew Galloway is going to be taking that title off of Bobby Roode. So.
Oh, do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I do. And I'm looking at it from a pure business standpoint because Drew Galloway does not come back to the WWE unless this was promised, because he could have kept going what he was doing. I just like that he looks like a man now, you know?
See, I've kind of seen him before because ICW has been around for 13 years, so I've seen him as a baby. And then he went into WWE, and I was like, yeah. And then, like, I realised how young he looked. I was like, holy shit, he looks really young. But
Looked like a baby back then.
15 at the time.
Now he's a
like
man.
24, so he was, but yeah, when you said that, I was like, that probably is going to be a big difference.
It's
is that
huge.
he's going to come back. He can actually grow a beard. That's good.
He looks like he grew into his body. He's wider. He's bigger. He's like 30 pounds heavier, for Christ's sake. He's massive.
Yeah.
He's absolutely massive. And he's captivating to watch. He's a lot of fun. Him and Bobby Roode should have a good match. I think it's going to get overshadowed because Aleister Black and Hideo Itami's got an opportunity, man, to be one of the best matches
match
this
has
year.
got me so hyped. And it's also, I think, where they're going to insert Adam, because every other ROH guy that has went in has been bet off Aleister.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that somehow, I think Hideo will lose because Kenta was an ROH guy. And then I think Adam Cole, 3-time world champion, is going to be like, oh, I can do this, but we'll see.
I think that there's probably a good possibility that the rumors of a Ring of Honor faction is likely. I think it's likely. So we'll see. They got a lot of guys that can really run this thing. It's going to be interesting to see how they go. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Kirsty, anything else for me? Great call, by the way. Thank you.
You know what I'm like when you start in wrestling? I will just ramble on.
Oh, I know. But you know what? I didn't mind it because, the thing is, I miss talking wrestling. I miss having reasons to talk wrestling. I just don't have reasons to do it. I got nothing. And it's not even that I hate wrestling as far as what's going on right now as much. It's the fact that I can't stay up for it. And I just don't have time in the rest of my day to catch up on everything and do it the justice that I once did. So I don't want to do disservice to anybody and talk fucking nonsense. But when we have the big events that are coming around and there's no choice, because I know I'm going to watch SummerSlam no matter what, I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys are all going to enjoy the rest of the week, and then you guys are going to be with me on Sunday and Saturday during the live reactions. I can't wait. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
Well, I don't even know if I'm going to get to see SummerSlam live because I'm going to be through in Edinburgh watching ROH, and then I'll need to travel home and hopefully make the start of SummerSlam.
Shit.
Or either that, or I'll just need to stay up till like 6 in the morning and watch it from the beginning and just ignore Twitter. So,
yeah, no, you might have to do that. Shit. Damn, you got a hell of a wrestling weekend. I hope you enjoy it,
I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, the New Japan guys that are there, like Naito and stuff, and Evil and stuff, look just, I'm so excited.
I just put a gun to my head. All right, Kirsty, you have yourself a good night. And I love you. I love you to death, but Omega sucks and Punk sucks. Have a good night.
No,
I'm just kidding. Talk to you later. Omega does suck, though. Bye. Fuck Kenny Omega. Fuck him. Fuck him. All right. Delusional asshole Okada Omega also gets signed to WWE. Vince gives them a gay couple that they are dry cleaners. Dry cleaner owner gimmick. Never wrestle each other in the ring. Both job to reunited vaudevillains. Book it. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap it up. We've had a fun show. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the rest of the week. We're going to have topics of SummerSlam related nature the rest of the week. If there's certain specific things you'd like to hear me ramble and rant about, please let me know. And hopefully everything on the Ric Flair front will continue to be copacetic, because I'm not ready to live in a world without the Nature Boy. Thank you very much for joining us right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Make sure you're checking out the other channel. If you like the Pokemon content, come on over to Dead on Dave Pokemon. Come hang out with me, and I love your faces. Oh, wait, before we go, Sarah Small donated $5. Let's do a pack of cards, because let me give you a little taste of what you get over on Dead on Dave Pokemon. Hold on. Little taste. Dead on Dave Pokemon, we do stuff like this. We open up packs of Pokemon cards. So let's open up this Pokemon card pack. And maybe some of you guys will jump on this thing right here. There you go. Get that promo code, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's open up this pack here. Maybe we'll get something special for this wonderful pack opening. Maybe not. Who knows? Let's find out. We got an energy card. We got a Rhydon. We got a Noctowl. We got Mount Lanakilla, Rhyhorn, Riolu on the beach, Cutiefly, Dynamo, Duskull. Ooh, Reverse Hollow Malmar, and the rare is a Lycanroc Hollow. Very nice card. Look at that. Good stuff. That's type of stuff that you're going to see on Dead on Dave Pokemon. Come on over, sub, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right. We'll see you next time. That's the wrong frame. That's the Pokemon frame. And so you'll see it more often. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious, folks. Remember, as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Peace.